house facing me when I turn, and it's been getting built for quite some time. I think there was a building there to start with, maybe an old barn, and it turned it into a house, and it looks spectacular. That building there, still not finished yet, but they've had a lot of work done on that, and it really does look nice. The only thing I don't like about that house is when they finally move in, you can tell it's probably going to be a millionaire who's had the house all renovated. But any cars that turn on that road where I've just gone down, you tend to have the main beam headlights on. So every time a car goes past, all the front of the house is going to be lit up. So I bet when they move in, they're going to have really thick curtains on the windows at night time, or all the house is going to be lit up at night every time the car goes past. And the rain is getting a lot heavier now. It's meant to be high winds a bit later as well, so even if the rain doesn't get heavier, if the rain stays like this and we get the high winds, it is going to be getting torrential. In fact, I've just seen quite a few trees there on the right hand side that we're leaning. I'm just hoping that none of those trees come down on the road, because if they come down and block this road, it's a long detour to turn around and go a different route. That's the only problem with living out in the country. When any of the roads do get blocked, there's not like a little detour. It's always a long detour to get round anywhere, and the traffic's going to be a lot busy. So if the road was blocked here for a fallen tree, it would probably take me over an hour to get home from here. But if the road's open, I'm only 20 minutes away. So it's a lot more on fuel as well as time. And the amount of talking that I've been doing, I'm just hoping that the GoPro is able to pick up the sound, because if you can't hear a lot of my talking now, I think the video could be a little bit on the boring side. And this pub called the Lee Arms, it's a Toby carvery. You do a nice carvery meal in there. I took Joe there one time. The prices are good in there. It's not very expensive, but when it's not very expensive, you kind of get what you pay for. So the food wasn't top notch, but if you're wanting a big meal and don't want to pay a lot, it's not a bad place to go, I suppose. I'll have to watch my speed round here, because when I first moved to Yorkshire, I was coming home from work along this road, and there was a police car parked up round the bend up the top here, and the policewoman was stood at the side of the road with a speed camera, and I got caught for speeding. I was just following the car in front, and we was doing 37 miles an hour, and it's a 30-mile-an-hour limit. She was just stood on the grass up here on the left, and I got caught speeding. Luckily enough, I didn't get any points on my licence, but I had to take a day off work and go on a speed awareness course. And when you get the speed awareness course, you don't have to tell your insurance, so my insurance didn't go up. I didn't get any points on my licence, but the course I had to pay for, which was £80. So it was a day off work and an £80 bill for the course. But there is a school here on the left which it's worth it, and the course was good, and I am more aware of speed limits these days. Not only have you got to keep your speed down because of the school, you've also got to be aware of a lot of wildlife. This is the place I mentioned earlier about you have deers on the land at the side, and you have badgers and hares and rabbits. too sure what this machine's doing up here through the traffic lights, but that machine wasn't there when I was going the other way to Wilmslow before. I don't know if they're doing some repair work. Oh, it looks like they're working on the telegraph pole. Yeah, it looks like they're doing a telegraph pole. It's leaning, so I don't know if they're putting a new one in or repairing that one. And it is narrow up here, so I have got my mirrors folded in. Now the speed limit changes to 50, which seems a bit daft because I wouldn't like to do 50 mile an hour up here. It's actually easier driving on these roads at night. Because of the bends, you've got your headlights on, you can always see if a car's coming the other way, so you can actually go faster on these roads at night time than you can go in the daytime. As long as you're aware for the wildlife. If you hit any of the wildlife and it damages your car or your van, it's not like they have insurance where you can get it paid, get it repaired free of charge. But anyway, there's a golf course on the left here. I'm always wary about golf balls coming flying over. So far so good, and I've not seen any. But there's always a first time. I wouldn't like to have a golf ball through the middle of my windscreen. There's a wall on the left of the road here, which I've seen quite a few times. There's been accidents with cars where the cars have clipped the wall, been some damage. There always seems to be an old guy who probably worked for the Wrigley Hotel on the left who comes out and repairs the wall. And I remember one time he was there for about 3 weeks repairing the wall, does all the work on his own. He did a brilliant job of repairing the wall, and I remember it lasting about a week. And then there was another car that skidded and hit the wall again where it just repaired it. So that must be an ongoing job for him. Now I turn left on this bend, and just a bit further up the road there's an old car parked up on the grass on the left hand side. I'll mention it when we get up to it. It's an old Morris Minor, and as far as I know from the first time I saw it, it must have been parked up and not moved for about 2 years. I'm sure it's been there a lot longer because the car's, I don't know, maybe from the 60s. It doesn't look in bad condition. It's probably good enough condition for someone to restore it, but I don't know who owns it. It's just on the left now. You might be able to see it just through the opening. There we go, the old split screen Morris Minor. I have done photos of that car before. There is a stream on the right hand side here. I don't think you can see it on the video, but where I'm sat I can see little waterfalls in it. That's a nice little picturesque place. Once we get through this little well, it's not so much a village, it's more like outbuildings. A couple of units are used by some small businesses, but when we get up over the hills here, some of the scenery is spectacular, which I have done videos of before, but I don't think I've done a video this long. This is a road where you get a lot of sheep managing to climb over the fence, so you've got to be wary of the sheep. All this is uphill here. If you get stuck behind cyclists, they're down to about 8 miles an hour if you're lucky, and if there's a group of them you can't pass, it is a nightmare. You get the occasional group who will block the road where you can't overtake, but most of the time they're okay. This is also a bad road when it's freezing, because you can see how much water's on the surface. You get all the water coming down from the hills, it runs over the road, and then when the temperature drops at night time, if it freezes, it's like an ice ring. So you just got to be careful and make sure that the gritter has already been out and gritted the road. So I wouldn't like to come down this road in the winter when it's freezing and there's been no grit put on the road. Some of these roads are very narrow. When a car's coming the other way, you kind of get used to it. You know the limits of whether you're in the car or the van, if your car will fit through, and you can normally get past them okay, but even though it's a tight fit and you're competent that you can get through the gap, you always seem to breathe in, and I'm pretty sure that when you breathe in, your car doesn't go any narrower. So this is another instance. I'll go pretty slow past this one, so there is room you can squeeze past, but you always seem to breathe in and keep your elbows tucked in. Not that it makes any difference. And you can just see the brow in the distance here where you drive over. You've got to be very careful going over there that there's no